Hi, hello, welcome again to my YouTube channel. I'm here again, your mom cat, your super mom. So here we are going to talk about making simple predictions of events and solving problems involving experimental and theoretical probability. But before we start our lesson, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe sa channel ko, please subscribe now and please do not forget to hit the notification bell para lagi kang updated sa bagong video ko. Now, let's start our discussion. So, hi everyone, this will be the last lesson for the fourth quarter. Hope you are still eager to learn more. Now, our country is starting to implement the vaccination against COVID-19. Are you aware how effective COVID vaccines are? According to WHO, or World Health Organization, Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine against COVID has an efficacy of 95% against symptomatic SARS-CoV-2 infection. Does it mean that vaccine will save you from the virus? Does it mean that getting a vaccine will save you from the virus? To answer the question, we need to know the concept of probability. According to the data above, the effectiveness of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine is 95%. So using a number line from 0 to 1, we locate 95%, or we can say that that is 0.95. So in our number line, this is the 95%. Based on the number line, we can say that if a person was vaccinated with Pfizer-BioNTech, that person will certainly not to suffer against severe COVID-19 because the number is closer to 1 or 100%. The chance that something will happen is called probability. Probability is just to describe how likely or unlikely it is that something will happen. Probability may be given in fraction, decimal, or percent. The value of probability ranges from 0 to 1. 0 means the event is impossible to happen, while 1 means that the event is certain to happen. So, here are some of the activities that we can use probability. Spinning a spinner, rolling a die, picking random colors of marbles inside a jar. So when we say probability, so we have here a number line wherein going to the left, arrow goes to the left, means less probable or less probable than not, while going to the right, more probable than not. So if the probability is 0, that means impossible. If the probability is 1/4 or 0.25 or 25%, that means unlikely to happen. And if it is from 0.26 to 1/2 or 0.5 or 50%, that is as likely or as unlikely. And if the probability is 0.51 to 0.75 or to 3/4 or 75%, that is likely to happen. And if the probability is 0.76 up to 100%, that means certain to happen. The event is unlikely to happen when its probability is closer to zero, like winning in a jackpot in a lottery where you only have 1 in a million chance of winning. The most likely to happen an event is the closer its probability to 1. Example, it will snow tomorrow. The climate in the Philippines is tropical. It is impossible to snow. The sun will rise tomorrow. It is certain that the sun will rise every day, so the probability of the sun rising is 100%. Edward and Tim are playing a game. Edward just flipped a coin to determine who will have the first turn. What is the probability of the coin landing on head? A coin has two choices, the head or tail. Therefore, there is 50% chance of landing a head. It is as likely as unlikely to land head. There are colored small cubes inside a box. There are 4 blue, 2 yellow, 3 red, and 1 green small cubes. What is the likelihood of picking a yellow cube out of the box? Since there are 10 colored cubes inside the box, there are 2 yellow. The chance of picking yellow cube is 2/10, or the lowest term is 1/5. So we have 2 out of 10, or that is 20%. So it is unlikely to pick yellow out of the box. When we use formula to find the probability of an event, we are finding the theoretical probability. Theoretical probability of an event is the number of ways that an event can occur divided by the total number of outcomes. Let's have an example of theoretical probability. So, we have, in our example, the number of favorable outcomes is 2 since there are 2 yellow cubes. And the number of possible outcomes is 10 since there are total of 10 cubes inside the box. So theoretical probability is 2/10 or 1/5. Therefore, the theoretical probability of getting yellow cube is 1/5. We can also find the probability of an event by doing an experiment. When we do this, we are finding experimental probability. Experimental probability of an event is the ratio of the number of times an event can occur to the number of trials or times the activity is performed. In our example, let's have an experimental probability. Take a cube inside a box. So, kukuha ka ng cube sa loob ng box. Record the number or record the color and return the cube inside the box. Repeat the process at least 10 times. So, ulitin na 10 beses. Count the number of times a yellow cube was picked. Kunwari, 4 na beses mo nakuha si yellow. 4 na beses mo na pick yung yellow. Kunwari, suppose, ilang beses ka ba dumampot? 10 beses or 10 times. Pero 4 na beses lang lumabas si yellow. Using the formula, we have experimental probability is equal to the number of times favorable outcomes occur divided by the number of trials in the experiment. So we have 4/10 or 2 pips. The lowest term is 2 pips. Therefore, in this experimental probability, the probability of getting yellow is 2 pips. Example number 5. Arkin is rolling a die. What is the probability of rolling 1, 3, and 5? Or rolling a 1-dot face, 3-dotted face, or 5-dotted face? A die has 6 faces with dots number 1 to 6. Each number is equally likely to occur. So here, is it an experimental or a theoretical? It is a theoretical probability. Now, the theoretical probability of rolling a 1-dot face is 1/6 kasi isa lang naman yung may 1 dot. Theoretical probability of rolling a 3 dots or 3-dotted face is also 1/6, and theoretical probability of rolling a 5-dotted face is also 1/6. Kasi isa lang naman yung face na may 1 dot, 3-dotted, at 5-dotted face. Example number 6. Arkin is tossing a coin. He tossed the coin 50 times. It landed on tails 38 times. Find the probability of landing heads. So ito, is it a theoretical or an experimental? In this example, it is an experimental probability because he tries to toss the coins 50 times. So ano daw yung probability na lalabas ay head? Since tails landed 38 times, therefore heads landed 12 times. Experimental probability, we have 12 out of 50 or 6 over 25. Example number 7. A medical study tests new vaccine on 4,800 participants. It is effective to 4,200 participants. Find the experimental probability that the vaccine is effective. So we have experimental probability is equal to 4,200 out of 4,800, or the lowest term is 7/8, or in percent we have 87 and 5/10%. The experimental probability that the vaccine is effective is 7/8 or 87 and 5/10%. So let's sum it up. Theoretical probability is what we expect to happen, while experimental probability is what actually happened when we try it out. As more trials conducted, the more experimental probability generally gets closer to the theoretical probability. So in our learning task number 1, quantify each of the following events as certain, likely, as unlikely, unlikely, or impossible to happen. So we have here number 1, the weather forecast reported 75% that it will rain tomorrow. 75%. Number 2, you earned 25 electronic raffle tickets. There are 100 entries. How likely you are going to win? 25 out of 100. And number 3, predicting an unborn baby to be a girl without having ultrasound. Number 4, the sun is sets in west. And number 5, I listened to the teacher and participated in the discussion of the lesson. Then I reviewed my lesson. When I took the test, I got a perfect score. For learning task number 2, solve the following problems. Make prediction based on the result of each experiment. A spinner is divided into 4 equal sections, numbered 1 to 4. It spun 100 times. Here are the results. Now find the probability that 3 will be spun. So ito yung number, yung 1, 28 times daw lumabas nung iniikot yung spinner. Yung 2, 35 times lumabas. Yung 3, 25 times lumabas. At yung 4 ay 12 times lumabas. And that is total of 100 times na inikot yung spinner. tinatanong ang probability ng 3. Number 2, a drawer contains 6 black marbles, 2 white marbles, 4 red marbles, 2 maroon marbles, and 2 blue marbles. 1 marble is picked at random and then replaced. This is repeated 300 times. Predict how many times can you expect the color of the marble to be used. So, yung A to F, kukunin niyo yung probability. Alright, and learning task number 3, from a deck of cards, you draw 1 card at random. Find the probability of drawing each of the following. So in a deck of cards, there are, how many cards are there? There are 54 cards. We have the heart. Ilan lahat yung heart doon? 13. 13 din yung spade. 13 din yung diamonds. At 13 din yung club or flower. So a total of 54 cards. Now that is learning task number 3. And for learning task number 4, solve the following problems. Write the correct letter of the correct answer in your notebook. So these are the learning tasks for this activity. And there are some modification when it comes to learner's packet. Medyo naiba yung mga learning task. Kasi ito ay ahead of time ko na nagawa. Medyo hindi pa may mga nabago na parts dito. But anyway, the examples are all the same. Explanations are the same. So this is the end of our lesson. Hope you have learned something in this short video lesson. Thank you for watching.